how many are from the foundation level and are freshers who are like new to ML? Can everyone just like raise their hands or like, okay, how many are there? Almost all. 25. So have you like gone through the resources that were like shared in your dashboard, and like do you have some suggestions or some feedbacks like regarding it? So first I would like wish to hear about that. Yes, you can speak, anyone. Feel free to unmute and like speak. Anyone can like go ahead, please. Anyone, otherwise like we like won't be able to understand that what's happening.
Hello. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I basically completed the foundation, but I'm currently enrolled in MLP also, but I am facing difficulty in like pre-processing step, like how to
Pre-processing.
pre-process the
Okay,
yeah.
fine.
So uh,
So
if you could provide some resources, because in MLP I just in I in week 8 they just explain how to um,
okay, okay,
pre-process the
fine.
text data. So
I got it. I got it. So I will take that at the end, okay? Because like we need to first like cater to the foundation, like the freshers, right? Who are like very new to ML. Fine.
okay.
So since you are doing MLP, I would like wish you to first tell, if you don't mind, what is ML? Can you like make it easy for them, if you wish to do? Can you like go ahead? Can like anyone please like go ahead? No. Anyone can feel free to like speak. So
Hello.
yes, yes, go ahead.
You asked that what is ML?
Yes, I asked what is ML.
Machine learning is typically training a model by giving it examples of how to examine something.
Mm, okay, like more or less. So basically, ML means that we involve training certain algorithms to basically learn patterns and then make predictions based on the data. Fine. So it is a subfield of like AI. Say like for example, it's as like simple as say showing a child some like picture of cats and then like asking that child to answer a question that like what is this? So is this basically a cat or a dog? So it is the that the computer learns to like recognize certain patterns in the data, and then it basically makes the predictions or like comes to a decision based on what it has like learned. Fine, I hope I could uh,
Yes,
like
sir.
make this
Understandable.
definition easy, right? So basically, first you provided something from where it should like learn, then it will, then we say that the model has been like trained. Trained for like what? Trained to like predict on the test set, which is like new and like different from the train set, right? So if you see your portal, so basically we have like released the training data set, right? So basically over there you will find that there are three, the columns. First is the ID, which is to like which acts like a identifier to the text, right? So for the track one students, uh, it is that news, I think, in the form of the text, and for the track two students, it is an article, right? So, and in the label for the track one students, it is either, I think there are five labels, that is, I think, like true, false, partly false, mostly false, and like something else, mostly like true, I think. So, and for the second task, the labels are AI generated or text like generated. So basically, firstly, I would wish to give you an introduction to what is like classification task, right? So under this basically ML, there are uh, certain, I mean, the sub fields. So machine learning is basically can be like categorized into say supervised learning, unsupervised learning, okay, like reinforcement learning. But I am not going deep into those details currently. I'm trying to keep myself like constrained to what is only like needed in this challenge, which is the classification part. Fine. So classification, right? So what do you like mean by like classify? Can anyone say? What do you mean by like classify? Obviously, you can align it to the classification, right? So basically, classify means what? Yeah, Parik, you can like go ahead if you like wish to speak.
Uh, Classify means if we have very unclassified, unordered data, and we have to make a group. Some like if we have a group of many uncertain things, and we have to
Got
arrange
it.
in particular groups of
Perfect.
something.
Perfect. So very basically, like simply, the term like classify like means what? That you have to like categorize like something. Obviously, the data here in terms of like ML into certain classes, right? Groups, right? So we are like categorizing thing. So say how you are basically aligning this our challenge in the classification task, right? So say for the first track, you are like classifying, that is like categorizing that news which is available in the form of the Malayalam text into certain types. What are those types or the classes? There are 5 like classes. So you have to train the model and like predict that what kind of a basically the news or the comment it is, like basically whether it is true or it is like false or it is like partly true or like something like that. Okay. And for the task track 2, similarly you have to like train the model so that it is well efficient to like predict that what a kind of text article is it. So basically whether it has been like written by a human or it has been like generated by some AI tools like LLMs or like something else, okay, like GPT, etc., etc. Right? Uh, I will just come there, okay? So yes. So what I was like speaking is so about the classification task, right? So now there can be various kinds of like classification, right? So first thing is on the base of like what you are like classifying, right? So if you will see that we have kept our challenge only like constrained or like limited to only text, right? So you are like classifying text, be it like track 1 or be it track 2, you are like classifying text, right? So when so other things are like say so we are only keeping ourselves like limited to the text based classification task, right? Other kinds of like the classification task, it is basically known as the multimodal classification. Multi, I mean, the model means what? So it involves like multiple types of like data or like features that can be used to like classify objects, right? For example, if you choose image like classification, right? For example, so basically that will include the visual as well as the textual, I mean the feature, right? Say say you are like given a task to like categorize certain images and to like predict that basically whether it is the picture of a dog or it is the picture of a cat, right? So basically that is the image, I mean the classification. Other basically kinds of the multimodal classification can be say like speech, I mean the recognition, right? That can include both say textual as well as the audio, I mean the feature. For example, you already like know, right? Say transcribing audio, I mean the recordings, right? You already like know and have seen some real life examples of these things, right? But we are keeping ourselves limited to text based classification only, which is much more simpler than the multimodal classification, right? So now inside the text based classification, so there are 3 types, right? So I think I should use a PDF to just make sure that people understand. I hope people are like understanding, right? So like give a thumbs up if you are understanding that I'm saying. I hope people are understanding. Fine, fine. Lots of thumbs up, it's fine. Thank you. Those who have like raised your hands, I will like come to you. Just like give you a minute, okay? Uh, yeah, fine. So is it visible? Fine. So let's talk about the three main types of the classification. So first, say basically like for example, we take a very simple example of like classifying emails that you guys like receive into spam versus like non-spam, right? So you have an email, say, and you are like classifying it into two types, spam.
We
and
can't
like
see
non-spam.
anything.
Is it?
Sir, your screen is lagging, I guess.
Okay, hold on.
See anything. I think it's mirroring.
Just a minute. Hold on. Is it fine now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, we can see now.
Thank you. So, say we categorize the mails that you like receive into spam versus like non-spam. So this is a very simple and the most popular examples that is often like provided in the lectures that you will hear of ML when ML is first like taught. So here you see that uh, can anyone tell that basically what kind of the classification like do you think like this is? So we are like categorizing the mails into spam or like not spam.
This is a normal classifier.
Binary classifier.
It is a binary classification, sir.
Binary on the classifier. Why? So here, see, we are only keeping ourselves like restricted to two basically in the classes, right? So now basically we can, for our convenience, say we denote this by the label, say one, and say we denote this as the label like the zero, right? So all the mails can be like classified into either a zero or a one, right? Or a one. It like can't be say like both, right? So this is a example of a simple binary classification task where we are like dealing with a zero and a one. Now the next thing that like comes is, for example, you say like classify, you add another like the label, say phishing, right? So then let's say we like denote this as like two. So then we have like three like labels, right? So like more than two. So we have 0, 1 and 2. So can anyone tell what kind of a classification is this?
It's multi-class class.
Multi-class.
So basically it's a multi-class classification because we have three like classes here, right? More than two. It's not like restricted to like 0 and a 1. Okay. Say like for example, we add another class called say academic. And like say denoted by the label 3. What kind of a classification is this?
Still
Obviously a multi-class.
Again a multi-class.
Obviously a multi-class, but again there is like something else. Can anyone say? The one who's like learning MLP or is in the diploma level? I think some of the diploma people also like should have like joined the meet, right? Can anyone try this? Basics.
It's a multi-class.
Multi-class, obviously it's a multi-class, but I think there's like something more, right?
Multi-class indicator, if you say.
It's also a multi-label classification. Now here I basically want to point out, basically want to point out that there is a difference between multi-class versus multi-label. Multi-class is not the same as multi-label classification. What is like multi-select label? Say here, select till now when the label, when the class like academic wasn't like present, when we had kept ourselves like limited to only spam, non-spam, and say I'm in the phishing, right? So, okay, so this can also be an example. So I think we should take some other examples to
Sir,
understand.
till academic, multi-level classification, right?
Yes, definitely. Why I'm like saying this, because till now, say if you took the first one, right? Say basically in the non-spam, spam versus the non-spam. So it could be either a 0 or a 1, right? So you can't give both basically the 0 and 1. You can't associate both the 0 and 1 labels to a particular mail, right? But here, say basically when you add the label like academic, so basically what can happen is you can classify a single mail into both non-spam and also academic, right? Isn't it like true? Some academic mail can also be like non-spam, right? So there can be like one mail which is both say like associated with like this label non-spam and also the label like academic, right? Because most academic mails I hope are like non-spam, right? So there in like such cases you can associate it with both like a 0 and a 3, right? So then we call this a multi-label classification. Why? Because we are associating that text, right? Say that is that object or that data point can like belong to multiple labels or the categories, right? Simultaneously. Could everyone basically understand this point? That why I'm calling this a multi-label classification?
Sir, for each input you are giving each input.
For each input.
Yeah. So
saying,
in this task, the user try to, you try to predict a 0 or more classes.
Yes, definitely. Say we have these 4 classes, right? Academic, spam, not spam, and the phishing, right? For this also, all the spam-based mails are not the phishing ones, right? Do you agree? Because you have seen in the Gmail, right, that phishing is something else and the spam is like something else, right? They treat those 2 classes like separately, right? I think I'm right. So some of the spam-based mails can also be included inside the phishing, right? So this is an example of a multi-label classification where you can classify or associate one single mail into both the categories, right? This a mail can be treated as like academic as well and like non-spam as well at the same time, right? Simultaneously. So this is an example of a multi-label classification where one data point can be associated, can be assigned to multiple labels and the categories at the same time, right? So I think you are clear with what is the simple, that is the binary classification, what is a multi-class classification. This is also like multi-class as well, obviously, because there are like more than that. And basically what is the difference between a multi-class and a multi-label classification? Multi, like the label, is not same as the multi-class classification, right? Multi-class is where there are like more than 2 the classes and you are assigning like one class at a time. Like you are not associating like more than one of the classes to a single input, right?
Sir, sir, I have
For
a question.
example, like let's say you are basically categorizing like the colors, right? So you are right something like red, blue, and all of those things, right? Red, blue, pink, and all. So these are all the classes. So this is an example of a multi-class classification, but this is not an example of a multi-level classification because you can't, categorize a color into both a red or basically and a blue at the same time, right? So you have to like categorize it into like like one level only out of all these possible like the classes. Yes, now you tell. Yes,
Sir, I have read somewhere, sir, actually,
Yes.
While applying this multi-level classification, like it is impossible to directly apply this multi-level classification method. I mean, used for like binary and multi-class classification.
No. Like there are like methods. Like I've also tried it in some of the papers. So obviously you can try. Like why not? So many things are happening in the multi-level like the classification. Wait, I did not get your doubt. Like what did you say exactly? You can't implement. Why can't you? Hello.
Yeah, sir. Actually, because like I have read, sir. Actually, that's why I just
What
asked.
did you
Sir.
read?
So
Like
that
that.
some article, I guess, sir, that I mean, it is impossible to directly apply this multi-level classification method used for binary or multi-class classification.
No, you can try that. Why can't you?
Okay,
No,
okay.
you can try. Definitely. Please keep yourself, inside proper. I mean, the resource. I don't know which article did you like refer to. We have only like given you the resource for the multi-level, right? I hope it's in the dashboard. Right?
Can I give a best example for that multi-level classification?
Sure. Who are you?
Um,
Who are you?
I am Darshan. Darshan.
Yeah,
Darshan.
sure.
Like tagging a parts of speech in a sentences.
Tagging up.
Parts of speeches like noun, pronoun in a single noun.
Yes, sure.
Yes,
Good
yes.
example. Nice example.
Classifying the people of India in different states or city.
Different states. So they are, so like they can be only, what are you saying? States. You can
States.
only,
Yeah.
so you are saying that you can say like categorize a person who's like staying in like West Bengal into also into like some other state as well. Like what is your exact? Like I did not like get
No, I
your
mean,
idea.
it's like an example. If a person belongs to a particular state, that maybe he cannot belong to other state. It's like an example of a classification.
You can modify your example into like something that classifying the travel and the data, right? Where a
Yes.
person has like traveled, that you can say instead of saying where that person like belongs to, right? Or basically where that
Or a
person-
birthplace, maybe birth state or birthplace.
birthplace can be like different for a single person. Is it?
No, not a single person.
Then
I think I am
that is
little
a
bit
multi-class.
confused
See, that is a multi-class, right? There are 29 like states or like something. So like that is a multi-class. I'm talking about multi like label. So you can't say like tell that person A has like he was like born in a place A and also in a place like a B, right? Isn't it like
here. Yes.
right? So I'm just like modifying your example to like make it an example of a multi-level classification where I can say that okay, so this person A has like traveled in like multiple places, right? So then if you take that example of that travel, I mean the data set, then you can say that okay, so this same I mean the person A has like traveled in say Uttarakhand, also in like West Bengal. So then you can like classify, then you can associate multiple the states or basically multiple the cities with the same the person, right? With the same the
Yes.
data point. So then
Yes.
it becomes a multi-level classification. Fine. I hope I'm very clear with that.
Okay, get it.
Right? Okay, fine.
Actually,
So-
sir, he got confused with
I got
multi-level
it.
classification. and
I got it. Fine. No issues. But to keep the challenge a bit easy, we have not kept any multi-level classification. So can anyone now say that after hearing this introduction, basic things about this classification task, which like how you align your problem statements that you have like got for this challenge with this? Can anybody say what kind of a task has been provided in the track 1?
Fake news detection.
Which one? Fake news detection. No. Wait. Track 1 is basically fake news detection, right? So what kind of a yeah, so basically what kind of a classification can you like align it with?
Binary
Binary classification.
Binary classification.
No, like why is it a binary classification?
So it can be true or false.
No, I think you have not read the problem statement well. Did you like go through your like your dashboard? Also at this point of time, let me take the opportunity and introduce you to the portal once, so that those who have doubts with the portal, first you go to the mlchallenge.netlify.app, and then you get a login link in the top navigation bar. You just like click on it, and then you like log in with your credentials, which you already have. We have sent the auto mails to all the the participants. You give your email ID. I'm using a dummy ID, and you put your team number, right? So this ID has been associated with I think the first task. So here you will see all the resources, right? Everything is there. Multi-class, binary. We have not given, I think, the multi of the label because a multi-level classification is not applicable for our challenge as of now. So if you have to go to the development phase, so you will see that the problem statement has already been like released. So if you see for the first track, you see the person who just like commented that the first track is a binary classification is like wrong because he hasn't seen the problem statement. It is not only true and a false class. See, whoever just like commented, can you please like unmute? You have not read the problem statement. It is, there are 5 like categories, right? 5 distinct categories. So it is what?
It could be multi-class.
Multi-class, right? Yes, obviously. Multi-class, yes. Multi-class classification, because the problem statement deals with 5 unique categories of the classes, right? So here is a simple example that we have shown you that. So like this is how the train set like looks like. So you will, and this is, anyway, I will just like come there and let me just like log out. And
So we have to submit the code, sir?
I will tell everything. Just wait. I will tell everything. Wait, hold on. Can anyone tell about the kind of the classification we have like provided for the second track?
Binary class.
Binary.
Binary. So
Binary.
Yeah. So you have to either like classify into it either a 0 or a 1, right? Okay. Fine. I think it's easy to understand the example, right? But the train set like won't be as easy as this. This is just an example that we have created to help you understand what we are like trying to do. Okay. So now I would come to the point. Does anyone have any issue with the training set? Have you guys seen the train sets? So as I said,
Yes.
there will be 3 like columns. The first thing is the ID. That is just to basically identify or like give an unique identifier to that text input. And basically there will be the third column that basically consists of the label. So you have to train your model on that text input as well as that label, so that it like learns for the first track that, okay, so this comment can be classified is like a
Sir, your mirror is infinitely sorry, your screen is infinitely mirroring. Kindly don't share the full screen.
It's fine.
Only
If you're finding issues, fine. Is this fine?
yeah. Yes,
Okay,
please.
fine.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. So at least you're fine if it's like this, fine. Perfect. So That's what I'm saying. So like similarly for the second task, you have to train your like the model. So this what is that? Article is an AI, a generated article. So basically so this is how the flow like goes on. So how you create the model? So like there is a basic flow, right? I hope Gautam you're there to allow participants in, right? Or some- Fine. Okay. So basically, how is the flow, right? The flow of this classification thing. So just a minute. Yeah. So the common basically flow is first the data collection, right? This is the first thing. This thing you guys don't have to do, and there is so this the step is only like challenging because you have to collect the data, right? On which you have to like train your model, right? Building the model is the second task. First thing you have to collect the data that you will like train your model. So in this case, you don't have to collect the data. We have already like provided you with the training like the data, because the issue that most people face in collecting data is like during the web scraping, right? So you have to like scrape and you have to find out the data for like feeding the model basically. So this part has been done. So the next thing that comes is the data pre-processing. So I think some person had a doubt here, right? Now you can unmute yourself.
Regarding the second track,
yes.
Regarding
Yes.
the second track, there were
lot of
different
characters, right? Lot of the relevant characters, right?
Yeah.
Found inside the text. Yes, so that is very like normal. I think people haven't seen like we had run the logic loom track back I think in 1.0 at the Paradox. So then I think there were a lot more challenges. Like you are just seeing some I think the Unicode character or like something like that, right? But there can be some other things, right? Say HTML tags, right? Inside the text. Why? Because they have not been properly like scraped, or like there was a formatting issue or like something else. Say the thing is like, say in the second track, you are still like getting. We have already quite like refined the data, I would say. Like those are very less irrelevant characters over there. Say if there was a task where you got the data from the X platform, then most of the tweets like they have a lot of noise. So in terms of ML, we call this like noise. So like noisy like data. That means so basically what is the noise inside the data is like those are the irrelevant characters which you need to limit from the model to like learn, right? Because if you don't, so basically what is the idea behind the pre-processing? Why do we do this pre-processing? Like what does this mean? So basically processing the data, pre means like before, right? So before like processing the data. So before like before getting like started with like building the model, training it. So basically you have to delete, you have to like remove all that noise, all those irrelevant characters which is present inside that data. You have to like remove that. Why? Because if you say like something only, in case of you, I also took this example on that day. Say if I ask you to train yourself, that means like learn some science chapter, some say biology chapter, and it used to happen, right? That like inside the NCERT books, those who have been in CBSE must know that some NCERT books of like most of the times you used to see that inside those books some other pages have been either like printed. I think some people have faced this. Like inside like some other chapter, they have like printed text, like the content from like some other chapter. So if I ask you to like learn the chemistry chapter like metals, and if by basically mistake some bio chapter is like printed on that page, so you would obviously like omit that part, right? You won't obviously like learn it during like learning that chemistry like the chapter. So like similarly, because it's like a hindrance, right, to your the learning. So basically like similarly, so a model you are like training. So obviously you have to like remove irrelevant things so that the model doesn't like learn those things, because ultimately it will affect your model performance, right? So why you are like training? So that you can get best to best, the results, right? Everyone who's like training a model, he has his basically wish that my model will be very like effective. So to build effective like the classifiers. So basically the model here we call as a classifier. Why? Because we are doing it on a classification task, right? So that classifier should predict best to best results, should give the best output. So everybody has this on the wish. So like that is why you need to like pre-process your data to like remove all the irrelevant characters, so that the model, so that you pass only the text to that classifier and not the text that like consists of say like links. Because do you think if there are the links inside your text, do you think that the model will be able to like make out like something out of these links? What do you think?
No.
Obviously like not, right? Obviously not, because it will treat it as a text. Basically like model can't like go to that the link and see, oh, so here is this thing, here is that thing. So it can't learn.
Even emojis also, no? Emojis.
Emojis also, right? Obviously emojis also. So these are some examples. Say again hashtags, right? At the rate, and what else? Some other basically simply non-alphanumeric characters, right? Non-alphanumeric characters mostly are like treated as a noise in this simple these two tasks, right? Because you in like both the tasks you have to like you have to train your model on that text. Now say like one thing is the fact that as emojis are not fully the noise, because if you like remove say if you like remove the links, it is perfectly fine, because like links don't have any effect in the sentiment analysis, right? But if you like completely like remove the emojis, then can anyone say that what can be the effect? Can anyone try this? Like apply your basic the logic and tell me that if you like remove the say your text consists of some basically emojis, and you like remove all the emojis and then like provide to the model, what effect like would you see? Or like what can
Lose
happen?
some information because those
Emotion
emojis
of the text is
Yes,
lost.
yes.
data,
Definitely. Perfect.
useful data.
Perfect. Because emojis are also useful like the data, they are not completely the noise, so they can't be completely like considered as the noise. Say like there is the tweet like I feel and then this, right? Something like that. So then you like remove this emoji, so you pass only I feel to the model. So here the information is like lost. So basically the model will see I feel, so it basically won't be able to predict right correctly the basically the kind of the tweet. So basically what you can do is you still basically need it in the form of a text, right? So in case of emojis, you can demojize it, right? So the thing is that there are certain examples you will find in the net that certain the libraries are like provided where you can convert these emojis to the text form by keeping the data intact so that there is no loss in the data. For example, this can be converted to this form, right? In the form of a text, happy, so that the model can understand and there is no adverse effects on the model the learning, right? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So these are certain things of the pre-processing. Now, so there is a useful library, you will find it, RE, a request. So these certain things, research on them, I think there are the resources like provided also consist of these things. Just let's check. You can see simple pre-processing. he will have an idea, because try to like learn things, because this is, see, doing ML like projects is always preferred if you study, see the internet, you use online learning, you can use like ChatGPT and then like learn, because it is much more like constructive also, like we think. That is the reason why the TDS course in the IITM data science program is also, they conduct ROEs, which they say that you can like collaborate with like others to find the answers, to like come to the solutions and all. So this is more useful when you apply collaborative like the learning, because this is a hands-on task, right? It's like practical. It's not the theoretical side of the ML, like the core and the maths or like something else. So there are a couple of interesting articles, nice articles. Yeah, see, comprehensive guide to data pre-processing, right? You can find it here. Yeah, these are some other things handling basically outliers and these things. I don't basically want to make it more complex, but yes, those who have, is there any team that has gone through the data and has done a simple data analysis till now? Because 24 hours have passed. The challenge was made like live yesterday at like 7 p.m. I think. So has any team like done that?
Sir, simpler data analysis means you are asking about pre-processing?
No, I'm saying, have you done a data analysis? Like how many labels are like there? How many the rows are there? How many like rows are there that like belong to like this level to that level, so on. That's what I mean by it.
Yes, sir, I did that.
So you are from like what track? Which track are you from?
That Dravid language one.
Dravidian language. So
Yes, yes.
can you tell me? Yeah. So basically, what is your in say after like doing that data analysis? What what type of inference like did you come to after like doing that? Did you see how many like the labels are there? What is a split between like the labels? Like I'm saying, say like for example, just a minute, your sound, yeah. So say like for example in track 2, a simple data analysis like will mean how many of the labels are AI generated and how many of the labels are written by human right? Are they written by human? So have you done some data analysis on this? Like he said, he has done. So say like for example, you see that AI generated data, there are some X rows, but you see that human written in the labels are like 2X rows. So then this is a class imbalance, right? What do you mean by a class imbalance? That is, there are like there is a huge difference between the two or more of the classes available inside that training data set, right? Because if say like there are like 5 rows and there are 10 rows, so there are basically the 15 rows in total in this set, and 5 belong to AI ones and 10 belong to human, then that is, you are not able to make your model learn adequately on both the labels, right? See, basically the model like learns about like 10 rows, and so it's, as I said in the beginning, so ML is all about your say making your model first like trained, right? So the model will only like predict according to what it was trained on, right? So if you are training your model 10 rows on human written and only like 5 rows on AI and the generated, it's obvious that your results that the model will like predict on the final test set will not be that accurate, because it has learned more about the human written thing and less about the AI written thing. So this is called class imbalance. So that they have also put into this pre-processing. We'll see handling outliers, all these things, scaling and the normalization, okay, and a lot of things are there. So this, I will add this like the resource as well to the dashboard in the next few minutes so that you can also like see this. It's very easy, like you see. This part will be taken by like Gautam because I have to like leave. I have some work. Any other doubts? So just a minute. Let me ask some doubts that you had in the this thing, right? A testing phase. Somebody said. So so you have the trade. Yeah, proceed.
Sorry, just a quick, I mean, sir, I just lost the connection. Sir, you're talking about the imbalanced classification, sir?
Yeah, I was talking about the imbalance. So like, what do you like think about this? You have the thing in front of you. Like try to analyze. Like, what do you think I was like talking about? So say like, for example,
you are talking about AI.
imbalance. I was talking about imbalance.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? No. Okay, so
No, sir.
So say that in your training, I mean the data set, there are like 15 rows. Out of that, you see that like 5 rows like belong to the AI like generated and the label, and like 10 rows belong to the human written and the label, right? So obviously there is a class and the imbalance, right? Because you are making your model like learn more on the second level than on the first level, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, sir.
So your output, your basically the accuracy like won't be like proper, right? Because of this thing.
Sir, can you explain this again? I still don't understand this.
Okay. So in your train set, right? Say this, right? Train set. So like this is like one row. So like this is AI generated. So like this is the second row. So this is the human written one, right? Right?
Yes.
So say so here if you have this say 15 rows of like the data, right? Like this, and out of that you see that basically the 5 rows belong to like this class AI generated, okay, out of those 15.
Yes.
And the remaining 10 rows like belong to the second class, which is the human in the written. So basically the model is like learning about human in the written articles like more than this one, right?
Yes.
Because these are like 10 rows that you are like passing to the model, and these are only like 5 rows, which is just half of it, right?
Yes.
Okay,
So it is
okay.
more than its capacity.
No.
So that's why you have written, sir, X and 2X, sir,
Yes.
twice X.
This is just an example, right?
So AI is the half of the human part, right?
No, this is like not the actual case in the track. I don't know. So this is just an example I meant.
So
This
that
is
means
just-
it is more the capacity of AI. So that's why it's imbalance, right?
Yeah. Say if AI has how many of the rows are there in this set actually?
There are 500 rows and
500.
86 are human written and 114 are AI generated,
Tell me,
which is clear imbalance.
Tell me again.
500 total,
500 rows. Yes. Out of that.
386 human written
Yes. Human
and
written.
114 AI generated.
114. One?
Yes.
140. Right? What?
14. Yeah, it's 14.
14.
Okay. 114. Fine. So this is an imbalance. So now let me tell you that this is very like we wanted like this to happen. So this is like we know, right? So that's why we have like given you this and the challenge, right? So what is the ML task if I don't give you certain amount of challenges, right? If everything is that easy, right? So I give you, say, I'm in a 500 row, I'm in a data set, and like 250 belong to this and 250 like belong to that. So like would have so it basically wouldn't have been like that much challenging, right? So already it is just a text classification, that to a binary classification. So there needs to be some challenges, right? So that you can feel, yeah. So we are also doing a hands-on challenge, right? So this is one added challenge that.
And now I get it, and now I'm prepared for it.
No, you shouldn't. See, both the tracks have their own like the challenges. So the first track is already like, see, they already have a challenge that you guys are getting it in English. They have to do it on the Malayalam, right? That is the first challenge. Second challenge is theirs is not a binary the classification. It is a multi-class classification, right? And they also have added like they also have class the imbalance and all. So they are.
Sir, which one is the track one, sir? Is this the, if this is the track two, sir? Which one is track one, sir?
Track one is the fake news detection in the Dravidian languages.
Oh, okay, okay.
That is the
Oh,
track.
okay. Got it, got it. Okay.
So you will basically obviously like work on your track that you have like selected, and that's available in the dashboard. So that's what I'm saying. So basically what to do in the class imbalance. So you will find, I'm giving a hint, just check this. Check for this in the internet. Smart. Okay. So many things are there. Everything is there, right? Everything is available in the net. Each and every like the documentation that is providing you everything, including the code, including the documentation, everything you have. What I said is this SMART technique. So this is our technique that is used for imbalanced, in the classification in Python, right? So this is like one of the techniques. There are more like techniques on how you can deal with such, like the challenges where there is a high class imbalance between the labels, right? So you will get it, sampling, everything you will get, right? So everything is there. You just have to search. You will understand, like definitely. Don't think that you are in the foundation level, so you won't understand. There are papers as well. Everything is there, each and everything, including the code, as I said. So you won't find any of the difficulty in how to like deal with imbalance. Any doubt, you ask us in the basically group and etc. We are there to help you out. And the person who had the issue with the pre-processing, now can you tell me that what exactly you find? Because I have a code, I have like done basically problems, but I can't basically like give you that entire code, right? That so basically this is the pipeline that I've like developed. So like run your in the data set, and your like data set like will be completely free from the noise. So you have to develop the code on your own. That is very easy. I told you there are certain the libraries which are like available in the Python. It is most very simple kind of a language, and you just apply the libraries, and you basically like detect if there are some non-alpha numeric character. If there are any, it will automatically like remove it from that text. I talked about the the demojis as well. If there are say basically emojis, you can like remove it. So how you can do that? It's obviously there. It's like just an example. So if this award in that text, where that award or that thing basically say like starts with a HTTPS or a HTTP, then that you can identify it as a link and just like remove it. You have everything, each and everything is available as a library. You just have to apply it. See basic and the documentations. Everyone will be able to like do this. Yes.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Yes, sure.
See, while training, is there any threshold that we need to maintain, like 77%, 78%? Like
No. There is no threshold. Why will there be like threshold? I'm telling you, I should not tell. I don't think anybody will get that 77% accuracy threshold in the first track. Mm-hmm. That is what I think. Okay, so let's. So you have to like prove it, right? So like that is the thing of the challenge. So like that's the challenge, that how well you can do, whether you can surpass the benchmark scores and all, right? So like that is the challenge. How well you can train the model. So the test set will be completely like the different. And as I said, okay, so let me like share the screen once more, just clear the final doubt about the test set. So the test set will be like released on the 7th EOD, end of the day. And what is the difference between the training set and the test set? Like besides the fact that obviously test set will be consisting of new data, new text, new articles, which is not present in the trend set, right? Obviously, because you are like training the model on some data, and you can't obviously expect us to give the same data to the model for the testing. Then everyone will get highest accuracy, almost like 1. So test set input will be different. Repeated, I'm going to request to you to follow this like format, because it is an automated evaluation. The portal, if we have implemented so when this becomes active, you will be able to submit your solutions here only in the portal directly from the submission phase, and you can submit maximum 3 submission files. You can like develop 3 different ML models. Everything has been provided. Like here, building the first ML and the model in like Python, it's very easy. How to even start with Google M the collab. For those who have not basically coded in the Google M the collab, don't leave the meet. Gautam is here. He will be helping you with the Google collab, showing you how you can simply do a classification for the spam versus the non-spam problem statement. That is a very simple one. He will like show you. We have provided the pandas on the NumPy and the library documentation. These are the prerequisites that you should learn. This is the thing. So, and for the submission phase, obviously, so it will be like unlabeled. So obviously for the submission set, for the test set, we won't like give you the label, right? Because if we give you the label that this data is AI generated, then you will cheat. Everybody will cheat. So we can't like do that, because that is the main basically objective. So for the submission set, you will get this ID and article. So you have to like predict the type. Okay, you have to predict the type in the test set, and then your model and the predictions using like Python. You will put those predicted and the labels in the predicted type column, and you will upload this file that consists of the ID. You should not like modify this, else basically evaluation will go like the wrong. And in this basically in the column, you put the predicted and the labels that your like model has like predicted on the test set data, test set inputs, and then you upload this file in this thing that will be live on 8th and the 9th. So the challenge ends on the 9th, and then we will have the final and the leaderboard. Okay. So any doubts like regarding this, then I will ask like Gautam to proceed. I have to leave. So any doubts?
So once the test data is given,
Yes.
again we'll have to. We don't need to split into test, train, all those things, right?
No. Why we will like split it?
Okay.
So one thing I want to mention, which I like forgot. Thank you for like raising this point. So basically many like challenges. So there are 3 basically kinds of the data. So like one is the a train set on which you train your ML model that we have already like provided. Second that comes is the validation set, and third is the final test set on which your like model like the predicts. So for the validation set, we have like decided that we won't provide you with the validation set, because we are aligning this challenge. We are keeping this to very high benchmark quality, and we like want the challenge to like follow the rules that is like followed in some of the top AI ML core international conferences. So we are like keeping it to that and the level, obviously. And over also like there, most the subtracts or like something don't often like provide you with a validation set. Now, obviously, you will understand by the term validation, right? That what exactly is like validation? When you basically want to validate something, right? So basically, usually, I mean, like what happens is after like training your model on the train set, you predict. You make your model predict on that validation set. Now in that validation set, it is also labeled. That is, you already have the columns, right? So say just a minute. Let me again use this, else people may not understand. So like there's a validation set, say ID, text, and actual label, right? So in the validation set, it is basically similar to the test set, but they provide you with the label since you are using it for the purpose of the validation, to understand how well you have trained your model, as a validation check on how well trained your ML model is, how efficient your ML model is before the final and the submission on the test set. You get a chance to like validify your system or the model. So that is why the validation set is used. So basically what happens is you basically provide the text to the trained ML model during the validation phase. So in our challenge, there is no validation phase. That is the thing. No a validation phase. So in the validation phase, like what happens is you ask your train time in the model to like predict on this text. So you get the predicted time in the labels. So then you can like compare with the predicted label and the actual label to understand how well your model has performed, to get the scores like the accuracy, right? And the F1 score. So these are all the matrix to check how efficient, how effective your the model is. So both of these, they are in the ranges from 0 to 1. Okay, like the scores. So the higher the scores, the better is your model. Okay. So
actual label is like a solution to our model.
Yes, not a solution, but yeah, understanding that how well your model has like performed, right? So our portal automatically like computes these the scores when you upload the final submission that we also call as the run file. You will see that, and basically most of places we have mentioned as the run file. So the runs is also like referred to as the submissions on the test set, final test set that we are going to release on the 7th. So we did not provide you with the validation set. So basically, how will you understand how better is your model, right? So many people have this question, right? So any ideas on how you can still like do that without the validation set?
Sampling.
Very good. Another thing, see, so basically what you do, we have like provided you with the train set, right? So actually train set, it is not like compulsory that you train your model on all the rows that have been provided in the train set, right? For example, your train set consists of 100 rows. So it is only considered a train set for the model if you provide all the 100 rows to the model from CM 0 to 100 for the training. Fine. What you can do, since you don't have validation set, is so unless you feed a row to a model, it is not inside the train set, right? Because the model did not see that row, so it is still not in the train set for that model. I'm making this very clear. So what you can do is you can like split the total number of rows in the train set. So this is a hint into certain things. Say like for example, you should like definitely keep a higher percentage for the training, because if you train adequate rows to the model, then only you will get a good performance. Other challenges and nuances are already there. They are already there. I'm talking about the basic thing. So if you think that you will give your model the 5 rows of data and think that, okay, so basically model is like a well trained and it will like predict accurately on the test set, obviously false. So what you can do is you can, obviously there are not 100 rows, I think like more than that. I think the first task
500 rows.
We can say that more
first
data
task,
has more accuracy.
first task like consists of like more than like 1K rows. So I'm talking based on that. Say like for example, you can like split it into 80% training, and you can keep 20% or like 10, keep this like 90% and keep this like 10%. So the 10% rows, you don't pass it to the model for the training. So then this 10% rows are not in the train set. This 10% rows you can use for the validation purpose to check. Yes, so you first train your model on the 90% rows, and then you basically predict on the 10% rows. You already have the actual MD labels for this 10% rows, so you can like compare that. Okay, so for this 10% row, so basically this was the actual MD label, and like this was the predicted MD label. So now you can compare and see the metric and the scores, how well your basically the accuracy is, how well your F1 is. So you can understand that which of your model is like performing like better. Very easy to understand. So using this you can do. Also, I'm giving another hint here. I was thinking I basically should not give, but like still. So if you think that you like split and you use the first 90% rows for the training and you use the last 10% rows for the validation purpose, then it's bad, because like there can be a particular pattern that is like followed in the first and the 90% rows, and a particular label that is present in the last 10% rows. So then your basically model gets trained on only this, the labels which is present in the 90% of the first and 90% rows, and not the labels that is there in the last 10%. So see this very carefully. Do a good analysis. Do a good analysis of the trained data first using the Python and the libraries. See the pattern, see the trends. Try to identify the trends. This is a very important thing in machine and learning. Identify the trends. So you can do a shuffle to basically prevent this thing, to prevent information and the loss because of this split. You can do a shuffle of the data so that it still is like prevented to some extent. So these are all the added challenges. Do well. All the best.
I have a doubt regarding the data.
Yeah.
You have mentioned that we don't want to use other data rather than.
Yes.
What is the reason behind?
We want to see the performance of the model on our data. However, you can use other and the pre-trained models that may be like available in some other things. Like
Okay.
GitHub,
Another doubt is, can we use base models like BERT and DBERT?
Yes, you can use bot.
Okay.
You can use like transformers like bot and all. Who is like stopping you? We want to see
They
how.
mentioned that we don't want to use large language models and pre-trained models. So
No, pre-trained like models are allowed. I have never
Okay,
mentioned
okay.
that you can't use pre-trained models.
Okay.
So all the best. Don't leave the meet. I hope the thing was easy. I hope I made the thing a bit easy for you. I hope, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now don't like leave the meet. So like Gautam will be showing you a dummy tutorial on how to get started. So Gautam can start like sharing and I like leave the meet. All the best for the challenge, right? Fine. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can I use Replit? Okay. Okay.
Sir, can you show where is this data? I was unable to found that. Okay, that means code of a particular kind are separated like this. Okay, so particular kind of code, I mean like this here, E plus and A equal to E plus 1 and the print A, they are separated from each other. Yes. Huh. Okay, okay. Okay, so the output it would be from the latest code that we have written. Yes. Okay, got it. Now. Are you asking to me? Yes. Huh. Can you repeat what you were asking? Yes, I went to this development phase. Yes, I was able to access that. So right now we have to use this Colab to for this data, right? Okay, 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 okay. Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, sorry for interrupting. I am. Is this we train the data with the available dashboard set, or we can use other websites data also? Okay, okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, 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 sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a general question, not regarding topic. About the test phase, do we require some basic coding knowledge about like C and Python, something else? Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so only Python, not other. Okay, so only Python, no other language, right? Okay, I am asking because I'm just new to this. I'm just in first year of college, so I was asking. Okay, how can I access that? Okay, so how can I access that? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
So, so, so final submission will be start from 88th and then end up at 9th, right?
Yes. My I have some doubts. Three submission as a individual or as a team?
It's 3 submissions per team, not one submission. Okay. Each team is required to give, like, they can give up to 3 submissions, but not more than that. Okay. So it's 3 submissions per team. Maximum of 3, minimum of 1.
Okay, okay. And is there are any restrictions on using libraries? I mean, we anything. Okay. And uh, when test data will release, so it won't have labels, right? Just review and comments, right?
Regarding the 3 submissions, like should we have to submit individually or as a team we should submit as 3 submissions? Like compulsorily everyone should submit 1 submission, or one guy can submit 2 or more than 3. Irrespective of whether a candidate even does not submit even one file.
Sir, can you show a demo that how a team can submit? I mean that you just say that every team has to submit 3. So how can we sir? I still don't understand how do we submit. I mean, how to submit? If here I can see the table, whole table of a data set. So I'm asking how to submit. Okay, and that what will be the team has to decide by itself, right?
And the thing is, like, whatever query do you have regarding submission, don't worry about like now, because like submission is still pending. It's you have time, so let's keep working. When the submission phase like starts, if we need, we will like host another technical meet to just clarify your doubt. So don't worry about that thing at this point of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it for the day. We don't have any more doubts. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.